1, 2, 3, yeah. Sayo says, have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. Sayo says, have you heard what Sayo says? Yo, whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. Let's give it yo, what's good, what's popping, what's shakalacking, what's jumping, what's juicing, what's pumping, what's doing all of that movement and stuff. Yo, so obviously if you're watching on, on the Tubes of You, Tubes of Me, Tubes of You, Tubes of Who, Tubes of Me, Tubes of Me and Tubes of You. If you're watching this episode on the Tubes of You, you can already, you can see why the voice has dipped a little bit. You can see why the pitch and the bass in my voice is lower. Get me? It's another special episode with Olua Prince. Come on, man. It's a special episode with Olua Prince. So for those of you who don't know, I haven't even welcomed you. Very mannerless of me. Let me welcome you. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sayo Says. I am your host, Simply Sayo. Woo, 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 woo. How are you doing today, sexy thing? How are you doing today, my size? You know what is a lost art? You know what linguistically I really miss? All of the slang words that we used to use growing up. All the slangage that we used to use. Peng. Let's bring back peng. Let's bring back peng, man. Let's bring back my size. Hey, yo, my size. Hey, yo, my size. What, man? What? I told you I got a man. Yeah, but what? The man don't let you have no friends. No, like, please. What? I'm not even talking to you. Like, no, he doesn't let me have no friends. And if he were to let me have friends, you wouldn't be one of them. Cool, sis. All right. Yo, your butters anyways. Your butters anyways. Men love doing that, don't they? Those little boys. They love doing that. Oh yeah, your butters anyway. You ain't even know that anyways. Shut up. Shut up. I love how when I'm dressed as Olua Prince, it's always at the expense of men. It's always at the expense of men. Oh my goodness, guys. The fuckeries that's been going on online recently, absolutely mind-blowing. Why are people talking about male postpartum depression? What the fuck is that? Male postpartum depression. How dare you try to validate such a stupid thing? Now, that's not to say that a present father will not also experience changes, whether it be in their body. I mean, you didn't carry and you didn't create cell by cell, vitamin by vitamin, a whole new human being. So the changes that you're experiencing in your body as a present father has absolutely nothing to do with, nor can it be likened to, postpartum symptoms that the creators, the mother of the child experiences. How absolute, like, how did we get there? How did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get here to be talking about male postpartum depression? What? What are we talking about? I feel like I don't believe in coddling men. I'm actually quite against it. I don't believe in coddling men. I don't believe in being hypersensitive to whatever the hell it is they go through. Sorry. That's not my school of feminism. That's not my school of womanism. It's not. And you're not going to get that out of me. Because whatever you go through, times it by 1,000. That's what women go through. Male postpartum depression. Let me even see if I can find the tweets. Twitter is always at the scene of a fucking crime, innit? Twitter is always at the scene of some bullshit. So originally, right. So this whole male postpartum depression bullshit was spurred by a tweet, right, that says, you see this postpartum depression, men too go through it, but we are not ready for that conversation. Damn right, sister, we're not ready for that conversation because it's not a conversation that needs to be fucking had. There's no such thing as male postpartum depression. I don't care what kind of, whatever kind of pseudoscience it is you want to try to use to validate it. Do fathers experience changes during even to talk about what sort of, what partum are they posting? What partum are they posting for them to be going through postpartum? What partum are they posting? To me, it's just egocentrism. It's just egocentrism. It's just men trying to find a way, not even just men, people with internalized misogyny, trying to find a way to further humanize and use men to further validate the experiences of women, as if women's experiences, mothers' experiences, is already not valid in and of itself. Because not too long ago, whenever women were talking about postpartum depression, when mothers were talking about postpartum and how difficult it was for them to recover from pregnancy, how when they were speaking of their experiences of postpartum depression, you had people saying, oh, you're just a terrible mother. Oh, you're biologically designed. That bioessentialist bullshit that people love to throw in women's faces. This bioessentialist bullshit. Oh, your body is designed to carry a child. Your body is designed to be a mother. Your body is designed. Not too long ago, these same people, these same internalizers of misogyny were invalidating the experiences of mothers who were sharing their postpartum stories, their depression stories. Minimizing it, if not completely invalidating it, they were minimizing it. They were trivializing it. And now you want me to sympathize with a chubby new father because he's gained some weight because he's had to look after and help care for his pregnant partner. Why are we being so sensitive what are we doing? What are we doing? If you want to call it by a different name, call it by a different name, but do not allow them to co-opt the language that describes the experiences of mothers. That's not what Sayo Says does not stand for male egocentrism in any way, shape, or form. We do not stand for for validating men's desperate need to be centralized and to be included in conversations that specifically are about understanding the experiences that mothers go through. I will not allow it. Sorry. So what? You gained a bit of weight as a soon to be father. So fucking what? So what? You're sad that your now going to have to make changes in your life. Very minor changes, mind you, in comparison to the experience of their partner. Suck it up. This isn't even me being insensitive. I genuinely don't think this is me being insensitive, because it would only appear as me being insensitive if you're being hypersensitive towards men. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Anyways, let's go back to the tweet, because this really annoyed me. What do you mean male postpartum depression? What are you talking about? So sister says, you see this postpartum depression, men too go through it, but we are not ready for that conversation. Correct, we're not. We don't want to have it. We don't need to have it. When a woman gives birth, both the woman and her responsible man, she capitalized man, go through postpartum depression, but over the years, no one sees the man's side. We've not even beginned. We're even just at the beginning of seeing the mother's side of postpartum depression. Mind you, this is still a conversation and topic that is seldom spoken about, that is seldom understood. You now want to be adding the what? While you are catering for the woman that gave birth, be caring enough to ask the man how he's feeling. Be caring enough to ask the man how he's feeling. He put on smiling face and hides in his shell, because once he shows how he feels, he will be questioned if he's not a man. You dumb. While we show so much concern for women who suffers this disorder, let's all as well create room for the men and let them know they matter too. Stop trying to mute men when they cry out. Find a solution for them on how to deal with it, not judging them. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. What is it with you? What is it with women, with internalizers of misogyny, that they so desperately want to include men in conversations about the experiences of women, of mothers? Very little is understood about what mothers go through postpartum. You're telling me to ask how the man is feeling. Does he not have friends? Is it the responsibility and the job of women to baby these grown-ass men? Had he have done the readings, had he have taken the time to understand the kind of changes to expect and to anticipate post having a child, what would be the need for the conversation? Why would we need to take out separate time to talk about how a man feels about about his partner growing human life that has sucked them of nutrients, minerals, vitamins to gestate, to for them to be born, whilst having to dilate 10 centimeters, whilst having engorged mammary glands. What are we doing? And this is why I'm such a big town yeller of just because you are a woman does not make you feminist. just because, why are you so desperate for your feminism to so much center male fragility? Do these men not have friends? Why is it the responsibility of this is not me saying that, the new fathers should not have a support system as well. Of course. But to liken the tiny, minute changes that they experience and do false equivocation, false equivalence in comparing it to what the bearer of the child, the mother, is going through is wholly disingenuous. Because what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Do you know how much that tweet pissed me off? Because mind you, this is even off the back of Guinea. That stupid man that came online and said, "Oh, what if when my wife was giving birth, nobody asked how I was feeling. Nobody checked up on me."
When there's pregnancy and all that, everybody focuses the attention to the mother. I'm not saying, but in the old time, nobody pays attention to the guy. The day I had my son, I did not sleep for like 12 hours. I had my son, everybody was happy. Nobody really asked me, "Guy, how are you?" Like, I made that tweet online and it went viral that time. I said, nobody will tell you that husband is just a title. You are a glorified errand boy. Why the care and attention is going to the wife? Pepper soup, mogi, for the breast milk and all that.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Are you mad? Are you mad? Your wife has just given birth after 9 or so months of all sorts of symptoms. And you're trying to find a way to insert yourself and to centralize yourself. How dare you? You're saying, nobody check on the dad. Are you the one that almost died? Are you the one that could have died dead during labor? Are you the one that lost blood during labor? And you want me to be audacity. Male audacity knows no bounds. And so all the internalizers of misogyny, all you women that want to be so nurturing and caring for the most inconsiderate kind of man, it can never be well with you. It cannot be well with you. What sort of demigod status? Because it's like you're deifying yourself by putting yourself on this pedestal of humanity. By putting yourself as, I'm so altruistic. I care so much about everybody all the time, even in situations where it's not needed. I'm just that nurturing. I'm just that caring. You want to be seen as a woman that considers men so much, that understands men so much, that you understand and you sympathize with the plight of men in this context so badly that you will throw and minimize and trivialize the experiences of your fellow woman who has just given birth because you want us to consider a man's feelings. Are you at all well? No. Are you at all well? This thing really pissed me off. This thing really, really pissed me off. People say when a man is fully present, honestly, they should be showing some concern too. Who? What concern? What concern? What concern? What concern? Concern about what? Concern about what? No rational man that is at least sympathetic towards what their partner has experienced during the gestational period of pregnancy, and then the potentially traumatizing experience of labor and childbirth would even dare fix their mouth and say, but what about how I feel? Why are you wanting so desperately to cater to the most bottom barrel of man? Because for you to want to now centralize this your feelings whilst your partner has just gone through a life-changing, physiologically altering, life-threatening. Because maternal mortality amongst Black women is 3-4 times that of white women. This was a conversation that was started on Niger Twitter. That stupid place. Stupid place. Maternal mortality amongst Black women in the Middle West, in UK, America, etc., Middle West. If there's Middle East, then these people are Middle West as well. Sorry. Maternal mortality amongst Black women is 3-4 times more than white women. You now want me to spare some consideration and thought for the feelings. For the feelings of the father, just because he's present, just because he didn't abandon his responsibility. Why is the bar so fucking low for some of you people? That's my question. Why is the bar so dangerously low for you people? I can't imagine pushing out someone's big-headed child and for him to now say, but what about how I'm feeling? Go and talk to your daddy. Go and talk to your father about how you're feeling. My vaginal floor, my pelvic floor is throbbing. I teared from my coochie through to my asshole. You want me to talk about your feelings? No. And this is the danger of people thinking that a man's feelings and this myth of them being more entitled to consideration and respect just off the virtue of them being a man is valid. Mind you, they even flogged me. They even dragged me on Twitter a couple of years ago because I said, let me even find the exact wording for you. So I made a tweet on the 7th of February, 2025. It was even this year. I said, there is nothing that a man is entitled to that a woman isn't also in equal measure. Not education, not respect, not money, not sex, not grace, not understanding, not forgiveness, not happiness, nothing. A man, by virtue of just being a man, is not entitled to more. Come and see the bastards, the born bastards that were saying, yes, Not even when it comes to taking responsibility for the bills. Are you stupid? As if the majority of women aren't the ones who are fronting and paying the majority. Like, as if women aren't majority, like, as if women aren't the ones paying the majority of bills in households. As if most households aren't actually run as matriarchies, just without the credit that they deserve. And then people are saying, oh, men are saying, oh, they're also entitled, and then they'll do the response, oh, then, let me hit you as well then. Women are not, let me even get the exact wording. Someone said, add responsibilities like providing, protecting. It's no longer acceptable for anyone to feel entitled to more or less. Are you stupid? When have women not been protectors and providers? Men love to push this idea and narrative that they're protectors and providers. You're perpetrators most of the time. Let's not forget to add perpetrators to that as well. If men are protectors, providers, let's also include perpetrators to that as well. Protector, provider, perpetrator. Women are not in what world have women not been providers and protectors? When women are protecting children, when women are protecting themselves, when femicide is on the bastard increase. In what world have women not been left to protect ourselves? And protect ourselves from who? Perpetrators. Provider, protector, perpetrator. People now are saying, oh yeah. People were responding to that tweet. Oh yeah. Women are also entitled to more violence. Basically saying that, if you equality of rights and human rights is also meaning that women are also entitled to equal measures of violence. Femicide already exists. Femicide is already a thing. Women endure more violence than men, especially because the violence that men endure is from other men, whereas the violence that women endure is from mostly men. Femicide or violence is from men. So in what fucking world are you deluded idiots talking about women not experiencing the kind of violence that men experience by men as well? This mollycoddling of male fragility sickens me. Like, genuinely sickens me. Because what are we talking about? Yo, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I think this whole episode will just be about that whole stupid male postpartum depression. Abomination! Abomination! What are we talking about? Do you know what postpartum depression is? To trivialize it and to minimize it for the sake of male fragility, male egocentrism is unforgivable. Not only is it a gross false equivalence, it is intellectually dishonest and disingenuous. Sorry, your wife's labor and your the last almost year of your wife's, and not even wife, of your partner or the mother of your child's life has impacted you so much. It's not me you're going to get sympathy from. You might be getting sympathy from those male-centered male sympathizers. It's not me. Like, what? Do you know what postpartum depression is? Women have put their babies in ovens because it is a mental illness that is induced by childbirth, by the changes hormonally, the changes cognitively, physiologically, that they experience postpartum. What partum are men posting? For them to be so deserving of consideration as well during this time. It pisses me off because why are we taking attention away from the mother? Why are we taking attention away from, mind you, medical misogyny is the reason why so many mothers lose their lives postpartum. You want to talk to me about how a man feels? Who gives a fuck? Why are you pushing that onto women? Why are you pushing that as a problem for women to have to consider? For their let a man that got me pregnant witness me give birth, go through the arduous labor of giving birth, especially if it's not an orgasmic labor, if it's not an orgasmic birth, if it's not an orgasmic, like the only way I would want to like keep a pregnancy or have a child is if it is guaranteed that I will have an orgasmic birth. Am I gonna have an orgasmic birth? Yes or no? Is there going to, will everything that needs to be done to ensure that I have an orgasmic birth, will it be done? Yes or no? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? And I hate that that these people will give these idiots the platform and the consideration of their stupid argument. No good man would see what the mother of their child goes through and still have the effrontery, the gall, the temerity, the audacity to try to talk about and almost emotionally blackmail them into caring and prioritizing how it's changed them. Are you stupid? And I think it's maybe because people aren't called stupid enough. Maybe people aren't called stupid enough. Maybe that's what the real problem is. Because this is dumb as shit. Male postpartum? What does that even fucking mean? You're sad because your partner is now giving more attention to your child than you? Like, what? That's crazy, for real. That's really, really crazy. That's really, really crazy. Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger. Absolutely the fuck not. It also goes onto it also bleeds into the conversation that people are also having about feminism and basically watering down feminism. Feminism is not a quirky little girl club to add more dimension to your personality and to make you more interesting, or at least appear to be more interesting and a deeper thinker and more rebellious than you actually are. Feminism is a political movement, is a very serious political movement and identity. It's about challenging systems, challenging culture, challenging bioessentialist beliefs, speaking up and defending and bringing to light all of the feminist issues that plague this fucking world. It's not a girl club. It's not a club for you to come and be saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a feminist. Oh, I'm a feminist." Just because you're a woman doesn't mean, just because you're a woman and you want to enjoy more rights, selfishly, mind you. A lot of people's feminism is very selfish and individualistic. Feminism is about intra-communal, interpersonal relationships. That's what feminism is. Some people just want to claim being feminists because they think it's quirky, because they think they're supposed to. What are we talking about right now? Somebody now came and said that, oh, you can't be a feminist if you are poor. Huh? As if impoverished women are not the ones that need feminism the most. Now you want to add and further solidify classism in your feminist spewings. What do you mean you can't be a feminist and be poor? If your feminism is not intersectional, get the fuck out of here. You need to leave. What are we talking about? Stop trying to dilute the seriousness and the impact of a movement that has seen so many feminists killed, sacrifice their lives for the betterment of womankind. And if you're a fucking TERF, if you're a TERF, if you're a TERF, what do we not? What school of thought are you people getting your feminist ideology from? What theory are you referencing? Feminism is not just about, it's not a girl club. It's not, it is a political movement. It is about fiercely standing up for, educating, and addressing issues that plague society. All of these individualistic, stupid branches of feminism, we can't even call them feminism, choice feminism. What the fuck is that? What is that? It proposes that any choice a woman makes is inherently feminist just because she's a woman. Even if the choices, even if those decisions is choosing it in her, like, to further subjugate herself and further entrench themselves in misogynistic and patriarchal ideologies and beliefs. Now, of course, nuance. I feel like that goes without saying. Nuance. But feminism is more than just the individual. You can make the choice, all the choices that you want to make. Choose to go and take your fiance or your husband's name. Choose to go and do this. Choose to go and do that. That's okay, but do not call it a feminist choice. Do not call it a feminist decision. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just because we all exist in capitalist systems, does that make us all capitalists? No. Because capitalism in itself is a political ideology. It is bigger than, I think when political ideologies and frameworks, etc., move out of that realm and become something that is filtered through social sociology, and it becomes a social thing, that's when we start seeing all of these different breakaway branches and misinterpretations and misunderstandings of it. But if you are going, do not undermine the seriousness and the fierceness of a movement such as feminism, especially when little girls, are being sold to predators, abusers, because of the system of poverty, because of how dehumanizing poverty is. When Sudanese women are being forced to make the decision to commit mass suicide to avoid being raped, to avoid being assaulted by the militia. When children, little boys, are being sold, are being abused, their sovereignty is being violated. When they're being forced into sex trafficking, children are being sex trafficked because of the system of patriarchy. You want to be talking about, I'm a feminist. Is it not a feminist choice because I chose to take my man's name afterwards? Shut up. That's not feminism. What are you talking about? This is a lot serious, and this is a lot more serious an episode than I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. Me that I'm dressed as Oluwa Prince right now, I thought it was going to be a joke. I thought it was going to be a joke because I didn't plan this episode, but it was just on my heart. It was on my heart to say, because what are we talking about? The regression in feminist understanding and impact is disgusting, especially in this current socio-political climate where women's sovereignty is being consistently violated, where women's rights are being constantly withdrawn, where South Carolina have damn near completely criminalized abortions. Mind you, sexual assault is on the rise. Children are being abused. And then you have these inhumane people, these Christo-fascists standing outside of abortion clinics, standing outside of women's clinics, because it's not just abortions that take place there. It's life-saving medical procedures, life-saving medical work. They'll stand there with their Bible in hand, talking about, oh, it's evil, it's murder. Excuse you? It is violence. It is violence. This is violent. And I'm not the kind of person that can so easily just bury my head in the sand about all these things happening. I cry hysterically because of the weight of all of the wrong in this world that girls and women in particular, and children by extension, just generally, have to endure. Because, mind you, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I believe. Charities such as Sister Space in the UK that specialize in advocating and caring and supporting Black women who are victims and survivors of domestic violence, doing amazing work. Femicide, there's an uptake. This is no joke. This is no joke. Think what a privilege it is to be able to just act like these things aren't happening. What a privilege. What a privilege it is to be able to just be like, nope, I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to read about that. What a privilege. As for me, my feelings, my discomfort does not mean nearly as much as my ability to empathize and sympathize and understand all of the different ways in which other women are being dehumanized. I will stay on feminist spaces. I will stay in Pan-Africanist spaces. I will stay reading news, watching documentaries that take me out of that comfort of being able to just be like, meh, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't care. My tears mean nothing compared to, and my discomfort means nothing compared to the reality of these of these women, of these people suffering. I will read every heartbreaking article that there is that I'm able to read. I will cry between reading articles. I'll go on to the next one that is even more heartbreaking and I will read that. I'm okay with that. That's me. I'm okay with that. Because for me, it's more important to be able to understand and empathize and open my eyes to the amount of suffering that this world forces on people. I think we're so used to just sitting in our comforts. We're so, it's an intentional propagandist method. There is not a single day that goes by where I'm not considerate of all of the children, the girls, the little boys, the women who are enduring the violence of patriarchal societies and Christo-fascist, religious fascist theocracies. This is violence. There's violence all around us. And it edges closer and closer to people, and it's only something new to the people who have sat so comfortably in their privilege of being able to just be like, this doesn't directly affect me. It's like similar to when white people, white liberals, etc., when they're like, oh wow, like what is this world come to? What is this world becoming? The exact same fucking thing it's always been for people, for subjugated communities, for subjugated people, for people living in poverty. The exact same fucking thing it's always been. What do you mean, what is this world coming to? What do you mean these systems are broken? They're working just fucking fine. They're working exactly how they're supposed to work. They're working just as they have been designed to disproportionately target and disparage and disenfranchise and dehumanize anybody that falls outside of this white ethnocentric bullshit society. Because it's harder for you to ignore now, because it's edging closer and closer to taking away your civil rights, your rights. All of a sudden, the system is broken because you're starting to feel the impact more. Meanwhile, this has been happening. Everything happening in the US regarding the ICE raids. The president, that fucking thug, that convict, deploying military force for civil unrest, protests. The UK is very much on board, very much on the precipice of a reform government led by Nigel Farage, spearheaded by Nigel Farage. Racist riots up left, right, and center. In the month of, I think it was September, there were 50 in the first 2 weeks of September. Mind you, it was Sickle Cell Awareness Month. The first 2 weeks of September, there were over 50 racist reports of racist attacks in the country. That's just the first 2 weeks. That's just the reported, mind you. The Metropolitan Police, that thug gang, they're there letting these racist writers that are painting roundabouts and throwing the St. George's flag, mind you, that was designed after a Palestinian historical figure. They're painting, they're leaving the flags everywhere. The police were just, no, stop, don't do that. No, stop. Watchdog documentaries exposing just how rotten the Metropolitan Police are at the core, because the heads in the police force, they're Islamophobic, they're homophobic, they're racist, they're sexist, they're any kind of dehumanizing belief and worldview you will find in the Metropolitan Police Force. There was a 9-year-old girl, black girl, that was racially attacked. There was a 20 or so year old woman, Asian woman, that was sexually assaulted, that was attacked by 2 racist white men who, after assaulting her, told her that she doesn't belong in this country. This has been the threat that marginalized communities have always faced. We cannot afford to take away the sympathies and the empathies and the ferocious defense and support that subjugated people, survivors, victims are entitled to in an attempt to be inclusive of all experiences, of all peoples. These same right-wing idiots, these useless, racist white men and boys and girls and women who are threatening violence, and not just threatening, enacting violence on migrants, on asylum seekers, because they're too fucking stupid to fathom a world where the root of their problems is their government. Sacre bleu! They're now misdirecting their anger towards this world is maddening. And there's so many different ways in which you can run mad. Like, the majority of people in Nigeria are living in abject poverty. Ghanaian nurses and medical professionals have gone months without being paid. People in the UK are having to take 2-3 jobs just to be able to make ends meet. Feudalism is back, baby. It never went anywhere, anyway, Sha. It's infuriating. All of this is very infuriating. Okay? This was not a ha-ha, he-he, kiki episode of Sayo Says. It wasn't. Sorry, there's too much going on in the world, man. Way too much. Let's be engaged. Let's engage in the world. Let's be politically engaged. Let's be aware so that we can see the connections between all of these things, because the connection between America and the UK is so fucking apparent, bro. I don't understand how anyone can think that politics is this vacuous thing that, oh yeah, it's happening there, it could never happen here. Your sympathies must always go towards victims and survivors. I do not care for the nuances of perpetrators. I don't. Okay? So, there's that saying, you can tell yourself that you don't do politics or you like. If you don't, just because you don't do politics doesn't mean that politics will not do you. Politics is doing everybody. Oh, politics is doing all of us. Check, bo. Gbogbo a ní láti lajú. We need to open our eye. Do not let this world suck you of your joy. This world can never suck me of my joy, okay? But I think it's okay to be able to give yourself at least some fucking credit. You can be politically engaged, you can be aware, you can consume all of these terrible these terrible things happening in the world and still be a joyous person and still be, you know, a happy person. But that cannot be the reason why I want to protect my peace. Let's stop with all of these idioms and all of these romanticized sayings. What do you mean? Protect your peace. For me, it's just is like a euphemism for it's okay to ignore what is happening in the world because it makes you uncomfortable. To me, I just don't care for that personally. And I have the kind of personality and the ability to be able to not be so greatly robbed of my joy just because I am also consuming and keeping myself updated and knowledgeable on what is happening in the world. Things are going to get worse. You cannot pray it away. You cannot will it away. You cannot ignore it. You cannot do no. Equip yourself. Equip yourself with the understanding of what is happening around you. Okay, like I said, this was a very serious episode, but I just feel like it's necessary. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's very needed. Very needed. We're grown adults, bro. We're grown. We're adults. You better know what's going on around the world. You better engage with politics. What do you mean? Oh yeah, I don't really do politics, you know. Yeah, no, I'm like, oh what? Politics ain't really my thing, you know. I don't really get involved in politics. Yeah, I don't really know about politics like that. You sound dumb as fuck. You sound dumb as fuck and childish as hell. Mind you, there's an increase in younger people taking interest in politics, but it's the older generations that want to be like, oh yeah, that want to be shying away from politics. Don't be stupid. Social accountability. Anyways, Sayo says. Have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. After I was just flogging people, after I was insulting people for the whole episode. Sayo says, just because you don't do politics doesn't mean politics will not do you, okay? Be politically engaged for your own sake, okay? That's what Sayo says, baby. Thank you for tuning into another episode.